Have you ever replayed a conversation in your head 50 times, imagined 10 different futures, and somehow convinced yourself that every one of them ends in disaster? That's overthinking in action. And the scary part is that it rarely feels like you're doing anything wrong. It feels like you're being responsible. It feels like you're preparing. It feels like you're solving problems before they happen. But what if the very thing you believe is producing you is actually trapping you? Overthinking is one of the most convincing mental habits because it disguises itself as intelligence. And the more you think and the more productive you feel, but thinking and making progress are two completely different things. And that's the trap nobody warns you about. Your brain starts chasing certainty in a world where certainty simply doesn't exist. Every answer creates three more questions. Every decision suddenly has 20 possible outcomes. And instead of moving forward, you freeze. Instead of acting, you analyze. Instead of living, you may stuck yourself in your own head. And the truth is that overthinking isn't caused by having too many thoughts. It's caused by believing every thought deserves your attention. Imagine your brain as a busy highway, thousands of cars passing every day, but you don't need to stop every single vehicle to inspect it. Thoughts are the same way. Some are useful. Some are completely nonsense, yet overthinkers pull every mental car over and question every driver, inspect every tire, and wonder where each one is headed. And by the time they're finished, they've wasted hours on thoughts that were never important in the first place. And one of the biggest reasons people overthink is because the fear of making bad mistakes. Society tells us to make the perfect decisions, choose the perfect career, find the perfect relationship, and avoid failure at all cost. And the results is people waiting for that perfect information before taking action. And the problem is perfect information never arrives. Successful people don't succeed because they always choose correctly. They succeed because they're willing to make imperfect decisions, learn quickly, and adjust along the way. Meanwhile, the overthinker is still standing at the starting line, wondering if they tied their shoes correctly. Overthinking also feeds anxiety, and anxiety feeds overthinking. It's a vicious cycle, and you worry about something that might happen. Your brain responds by creating more scenarios, and those scenarios, they create more worry, which creates even more thinking. And before long, your body reacts as if those imaginary situations are actually happening. Your heart races, your muscles tighten, you lose sleep, and all because your brain can't tell the difference between a vividly imagined problem and a real one. And this is why people often feel exhausted after a day of worrying, even if nothing actually happened. Their mind has been running a marathon while their body sat still. And another trap is assuming thoughts equal facts. Just because you think something doesn't make it true. If you think everyone is judging you, that doesn't mean they are. If you think you're going to fail, it doesn't guarantee the failure. If you think you're not good enough, that's simply a thought, not evidence. And the human brain produces thousands of thoughts every single day, and many of which are repetitive, irrational, or completely false. And learning to question your thoughts instead of automatically believing them is one of the biggest steps towards mental freedom. Overthinking also steals opportunity because action has an expiration date. These are jobs people never applied for because they convinced themselves they'd be rejected. In relationships that never started because someone overanalyzed every text message, businesses that were never launched because the owner kept waiting for that perfect moment, and dreams don't usually disappear because of failure. They disappear because of hesitation. While you're thinking about whether something might work, someone else with less talent with more courage is already trying. And that's one of life's hardest lessons. Confidence isn't what creates action. Action creates that confidence. And the more you act despite uncertainty, the stronger your confidence becomes. People often believe overthinking proves they care, and in reality, it proves they don't trust themselves. And if you trust your ability to handle problems as they came, you wouldn't need to predict every possible disaster ahead of time. Think about learning to ride a bicycle. You don't study balance for 6 months before getting onto the bike. You climb on it, you wobbled, you fell a few times, and gradually you learn through experience. Life works the exact same way. You cannot think your way into experience. You have to live your way into that wisdom. So, how do you escape the overthinking trap? First, separate the planning from the worrying. Planning creates the action, worrying creates endless questions. And if your thoughts end with something you can actually do today, that's planning. And if they end another what if scenario, you're probably worrying. And the second, set decision deadlines. Give yourself a reasonable amount of time to gather information, then commit. Endless research rarely produces dramatically best decisions. And third, remember the 80% rule. Most decisions only require enough information to make a reasonably good choice, not a perfect one. So that fourth, focus on what you can control. You can't control every outcome, every opinion, or every surprise. You can only control your preparation, your effort, and your response. And that realization alone removes a tremendous amount of mental weight. So finally, practice taking small actions even when you feel uncertain. Send the email, make the phone call, start the workout, apply for the job, polish the video. Tiny actions interrupt overthinking because reality quickly replaces that imagination. And once you're moving, your brain has less room to invent fictional disasters. And here's something most people never realize: the opposite of overthinking isn't carelessness, it's trust. Trust that you'll adapt. Trust that mistakes won't destroy you. Trust that even if life doesn't go according to plan, you'll figure out one step at a time. And every successful person you admire has had bad decisions, embarrassing mistakes, and painful failures. And the difference is they didn't let those possibilities stop them from moving. They understood something overthinkers often forget: progress beats perfection every single time. Life rewards momentum far more than flawless planning. So the next time your mind starts spinning endless scenarios, ask yourself one simple question: is the thought helping me take action, or is it just keeping me busy? That single question can expose a trap before it captures another hour, another opportunity, or another piece of your mind. And your future isn't built by the thoughts you endlessly repeat. It's built by the actions you finally decide to take. Thanks for watching. If you found value in today's video, please subscribe. We're looking to grow this channel, and without you, we just can't do it. And I would love to see you on board. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and have a good day.